It's October 1830 in Amherst, Ohio, and Parley P. Pratt, on his first mission, is unlawfully arrested on a false charge while preaching to Simeon Carter, an honest seeker of truth. After a night in jail, Parley asks to step outside with the guard. Parley wrote, "Mr. Peabody, are you good at a race?" "No, but my big bulldog is, and he will take any man down at my bidding." "Well, Mr. Peabody, you have given me an opportunity to preach, sing, and have entertained me with lodging and breakfast. I must now go on my journey. If you are good at a race, you can accompany me. I thank you for all your kindness. Good day, sir." I then started on my journey while he stood amazed and did not awake from his astonishment till I had gained perhaps 200 yards. "Hey!" He now came hallooing after me, shouting to his dog to seize me. The dog, being one of the largest I ever saw, came close on my footsteps with all his fury. The officer behind, still in pursuit, clapping his hands and hallooing, Stu boy, take him!" The dog was fast overtaking me when, quick as lightning, the thought struck me to assist the officer. Stu boy, take him!" The dog hastened past me with redoubled speed, being urged on by the officer and myself. "Now, get him!" I soon lost sight of the officer and dog, and have not seen them since. Shortly thereafter, Elder Pratt rejoins his mission companions a few miles down the road. Parley, Oliver Cowdery, Peter Whitmer, and Ziba Peterson are called on a mission to the Lamanites on the Missouri frontier, where Andrew Jackson's outrageous Indian Removal Act had just put them. These young missionaries are stoked to teach the descendants of a people they've read about in the Book of Mormon. Still, this mission means leaving in October and walking over 1,200 miles into the frozen frontier in what would come to be known as the Winter of the Deep Snow. Fortunately, they aren't alone in this massive undertaking, as the Lord assures them that He would be with them and go in their midst. Now, while passing through northeastern Ohio, Parley felt impressed to visit his former friend and pastor, Sidney Rigdon. Sidney's large congregation was actively trying to become just like the church Christ formed with his apostles. So, Parley bore powerful testimony to Sidney that he'd actually found Christ's restored church. For real. He begged Sidney to read the Book of Mormon and asked to preach to his congregation. The Rigdons and their 6 kids lived in a home given them by their congregation and would lose it, along with Sidney's job, if they converted to this new faith. However, Sidney and his wife Phoebe prayed and found peace that it was the right decision.
"I have counted the cost. It is my desire to do the will of God, come life or come death."
Sidney was like a modern-day John the Baptist. He'd prepared his group for the greater truth to come. Sidney's entire congregation recognized the truth, and most were baptized. One night, the missionaries taught a large group of Sidney's congregation late into the evening at the Morley home, and 17 people were baptized in the middle of winter. These conversions led to more and more people flocking to hear this new message. And Oliver had to write Joseph requesting tons more copies of the Book of Mormon. Amazingly, 4 men in 4 weeks with God more than doubled the church membership. Clearly, the Lord was helping them. The missionaries loved teaching in Ohio, but they knew their mission call was to teach the Lamanites. So, after establishing some branches in Ohio and ordaining men to be their leaders, they set off into the wilderness. They walk for days on end in snow above their knees, without seeing anyone or finding a barn or shelter to sleep in. They even once try traveling by boat, but the water is too frozen. On top of that, they have no waterproof clothing and carry all their food, sleeping bags, and, of course, as many copies of the Book of Mormon as they can manage. Talk about a tough mission. Wow! After weeks of intense struggle, they arrive in Independence, Missouri, a few miles east of the Indian Territory, and begin preaching to the Delaware Indians under Chief Kick the Weenand. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. Wanting to learn more, the chief says, "We will meet together, and you shall read and teach us more concerning the book of our fathers. So, the missionaries eagerly begin teaching large groups from his tribe. But then, a government agent threatens to arrest them for preaching without permits. What? Permits? Who knew? So, the elders are forced to leave. Oh, total bummer. Parley's attempt to get the proper paperwork is unsuccessful, and they may have felt their mission among the Lamanites was a failure. But was it really? Well, though no Native Americans were baptized, numerous church branches were established, including in Kirtland and Independence. And remember Parley and Stewboy? Yeah, even that fiasco led to the organization of a branch with 60 members because of a Book of Mormon Parley left with Simeon Carter. This crazy, difficult mission more than doubled church membership to over 1,000 members. You know what? Sometimes the journey is as important as the destination. Next time, the growing church gets a bombshell of an announcement. We hope you enjoyed this presentation.